Hello everybody, welcome to part 7.3 of the Running Retrospective. We've this has been a jam-packed lot of videos, and for me, a lot of memories. The amount of people I've gone through, the amount of information I've had to pull from my head, I'm like, oh jeez. But you know what, it's worth it. So I've talked about the King City boys, all the Hartnell people. Like I said, I'm going through all the groups that I really built up my relationships with, thanks to my high school and junior college experiences. This next group, excuse me, really got developed as a result of Merced. However, at Merced, they had to hear about all these people and then saw me with them. All these people that I'm showing on all these different slideshows that have been made throughout the years are all people that just my Merced peers had to just see me seeing at meets or hear about 24/7. Okay, so I'm kind of concluding the Hartnell and King City retrospective parts with these parts to say, hey, these are all the relationships that I really built up and then got to see throughout my time at UC Merced before I then make it all about UC Merced, because they've earned some videos talking all about UC Merced. Okay, but anyways, JUCO to New Horizons. Like the Hartnell one, like the Hartnell and New Horizons one, is everyone that I met from JUCO in it? Unfortunately not, and it's not because oh, didn't like it. It's just I didn't get to see some people and get a photo with them. That's just how the way it goes. But the people I did, I managed to get photos with them, and then I've created a lot of memories with them since, and keep them on strong. So this slideshow is all about the people I met at other junior colleges that I got to see their careers continue. It's not as big as the Hartnell one. As you see, it's literally just you know, I really need to remember that I do the purpose behind this, and I can just literally read this. But anyways, there are other. I'll just say this: there are people on here that I did talk about, like Elliot, someone, Kai, both from Dan's. I just realized Michael Sides. He went from what you call it, Butte to Cal Poly Humboldt. There are people that I did talk to that unfortunately aren't going to be on here, but the people that I did get to talk with and then also get photos with are the ones on here. So without further ado, let's just talk about some JUCO athletes beside that I got to run with and talk with. So first one, we're going to go with the Jake. Jake, I think, hang on. I think of this entire group, Jake is the only one that actually I also got to compete against with in high school. So Jake went from Pacific Grove to MPC to actually unattached. He is currently still finishing up at MPC. Then he told me he should be going on to CSUMB. But it's funny. He and I talked a little bit at JC, and then we just ended up kind of hanging off. He and I have similar interests, and Jake, he's actually a really nice guy. And then I also got to talk a lot with his dad, and his dad, very supportive guy, was always nice to me. He says, hey, I really appreciate that you and Jake are nice friends and can be good competitive rivals that you both want to try and beat each other, but you're both respectful of each other. And he always cheered me on every single meet. I remember he cheered me on the video when I beat Jake one time, and I was like, oh shoot. But Jake kicked my butt every single meet in the 5K. But yeah, Jake, he and I were both all conference. I saw him be a 3-time state qualifier in track and field. In cross country and track and field. Good runner. He got the long distance in the end all. Up to the 3K, it's me, 800, 1500, 3K. I'm able to beat him. But then after the 3K, goes to him. But good guy, and I got to see him over my years from Hartnell. I got to see him at Hartnell, and then after Hartnell, I really got to talk with him a lot more. So I saw him at Kim Dice, Bronco, and then I actually got to see him at Berkeley, where he ended up breaking 15, and that's Antoine, who you'll actually see in a little bit. So yeah, so Jay's a good friend. Then here, JUCO throwback. Here's us back to our JC days. So Hartnell, MPC. It's track. That was conference. There's conference. It's NorCal, and then here's 3K actually. So Jake, I gotta talk with a lot, and I actually am proud of the runners become, and just good luck with whatever you do, Jake, and thanks for just being a good friend to talk and hang out with. That's it. That's Jake. Second one's Evelyn. Evelyn's actually a really funny story. You know, I just randomly ended up talking to her one day, and then what's funny is when I committed to UC Merced, I remember she posted congrats, good luck, and I remember I didn't know this girl at all, so I was like, oh, hey, thanks for that. And she said, hey, no problem, you know, seemed like a good person, yada yada. And then she ended up knowing my Merced coach, and then she actually knew one of my teammates who I go on to become good friends with, Jada. So unintentionally, she really helped me out with becoming friends with someone at my university. Really nice person, really God fearing, and just a really good person. And she actually ended up really helping out Mario when he went up north to for a Cal State Spay and such. So Mario, thanks for looking out for one of my brothers. But really good person. I'm really thankful that I got married. And you know, she was a high school valedictorian JUCO transfer like I was, so we got along. And then, well, anyone who knows me knows that I just never shut up, and I just talk, 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 and I just talk to those who are willing to listen. She was always willing to listen, and we ended up getting along. She's a really good person. I'm glad that I've gotten to know. But yeah, she went to Clovis Community College, so Triple C as we're gonna call it. I actually ended up getting to meet another guy that went to Clovis Community College. His name's Joaquin. He'll be following a similar path as Zambrano, going from CCC, or let's just call it Triple C to Cal State East Bay. He's going to be doing that too. And I met him because he was high school teammates with my UC Merced teammate, Jalen Morales. So, got to talk with her. Really good person. Then, now, unlike Jake's, like, one of the only ones that, like, I have, like, throwback photos with. Zambrano, I have none, because I didn't really know her. Thankfully, since she was one of the top runners for Clovis, she, was in some medalist photos I found. I just literally went through the Hartnell photos. I was like, okay, is there somewhere where she was? And I was like, oh, okay, wait, she was here. And then it's funny, like, all these people, like, in these photos used to be strangers. But then, like, I've heard of them slowly, like, from my friends meeting them and such. I'm like, oh, it's funny when I look at a photo and at first the people I were meaningless. Now, like, I know that they were people. It's not that I didn't know they were people. I just know that they have like backstories and such. Like I remember, like when I first saw this photo, I was like, okay, I only know Valerie, Carla, I believe that's Mariah, and then Ashley and Sophie. But as I've gotten older, I now know. Oh, that's Mariah. Oh, that girl from San Mateo. She ended up transferring to University of St. Mary's. So it's like, wow. I know all these different people. That's crazy. I love it when stuff like that happens because I think it's fun. Not everyone thinks like that. I just love bridging the communities, and I think it's really cool. Like just see the stories. So that's why I love doing stuff like this because I get to find out more about the past. Actually, Jen here actually wanted to compete with Ashley at Fresno State. Actually, I just realized. So yeah, there's another story on that. So yeah, like literally. So tomorrow, thanks for being good friends, such. Then Nico here. Nico actually one of the nicest people I've ever met. You know, I only got to compete against, so Jake, I got to compete with against those 2 seasons. I only competed against Nico for 2 seasons, which was 2021 cross and 2022 track and field. I saw him at 2 meets. Oxy, and it appears, what meet was this? Oh yeah, Masters invite in 2014. Oh my gosh, that is embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I really need to edit these slides. Anyways, saw him in 2024. So, anyways, anyway, he went from Chabot Community College to Azusa, where he actually got to compete alongside Sophie in uh, wicked mid-distance race. I don't know his 800-meter PR off the top of my head. I want to say it was 150. If it wasn't 150, it was like 149. Wicked quick. But Nico, I actually do have some photos. So he was a mid-distance demon. Yeah, he was 354, I think, or 355, something like that. I know he was for sure sub 4, and then he was way, way below sub 2 in the 800. I got him in the long distance, okay? I did not get him in the mid distance whatsoever. It was the reverse of what it was with Jake. But that's him actually in 2021 Coast Conference. I remember that's actually how I met him. I was like, oh hey, congrats. And he's like, yeah, I got one of the last ones, and then that is him right there in 2022 track and field. But yeah, overall I got to meet him. I got to talk to him across different meets, and he's just oh wait, whoops. He was always nice to me, and just ended up kept talking with him, and now here I am saying, yeah, he's someone I know. So Nico, thanks for just being cool, and like I said, gotta continue the history. But yeah, keep going, keep doing that mid distance, man. So after him, or Jake NPC, Evelyn was Triple C with Clovis, Nico was Chabot. Then you have Antoine. Antoine went to De Anza. He was actually one of 3 guys that I got to meet. He's a year younger than me. I got to meet him, Elliot, and Kai at the same time. All 3 great people. Antoine, as of this point in time, is the only one that's gone to run university, to my knowledge. But Antoine, like me, is actually an engineer. That's probably why we get along. And he, besides a great engineer, is going to be a great runner. I think Hartnell, his best feat would have been the steeplechase. He was like sub 9:10 3K steeplechase. Just a good guy though, and was always kind of supportive to me. But he went from whatever high school he ran at to De Anza, and then he went to UC Berkeley. And as you can see, I saw him here at the Berkeley meet. I somehow Jake, and I managed to get this trio photo. This was at Bronco, and this was at Berkeley. You know, it's funny though. He didn't run this race, and then I didn't run this race. For some reason, not all 3 of us were allowed to race at the same time, I guess. But yeah, he good guy. And then if you look here, even though he was much faster, Cross decimated me. Okay, I managed to like have a little bit of rivalry in the mid distance. I mean, you can see he still beat me and went sub 2 way before I did, but I was close. But then he and I were both all conference. That's actually Kai right there. I was just mentioning. That's Elliot right there. I forgot about the Cheez-It sweater. Anyways, but there's Antoine. But he was all conference in 2022 cross, and then all NorCal in the men's 10K in 2023. And he actually photobombed his 4x4 photo. I forgot about this. But yeah, always good talk and good engineering talks. And Antoine, just you have another year or so. Kill it at Berkeley. Can't wait to see what you do. And otherwise, if you ever want to talk engineering, I got you. So, so that's Antoine. Next guy's Muhammad. I don't know Muhammad as well as the other guys. I'd say the main guys that know Muhammad are actually other guys on this list, actually, who would... Oh, okay, I'm going to need to fix that quickly. But the guys that mainly know Muhammad are probably Antoine, Tad, and actually Nico, because Muhammad... actually, okay, here's what's funny about Muhammad. The guy who actually knows Muhammad is actually Draven Grondona, my roommate and teammate from UC Merced. They worked together at a shoe store, and he was like, yeah, this guy, he was really fast. He's probably like the fastest runner I know. And then he dropped his times, and he said how he went to Chabot, and I went, is that Muhammad? He went, oh yeah, it is. And then Draven and I realized we both knew Muhammad Ahmed. But yeah, good runner. He ran at Chabot Community College. I just realized Chabot Community College and Clovis Community College can both be Triple C. Huh, who would have thought? But he went from Chabot to UC Davis, and I saw him at the Aggie Open on his home race. I need to fix that link. But yeah, for JUCO throwback, he was a part of that men's 10K all NorCal along with Antoine, Jake, and myself. And if you look, there's Ricky, Moises. Jose, I've talked about in previous videos. I've not talked about him in the Hartnell New Horizons or King City Boys, but Jose was there, and then Elliot. Like, it's all the same people. It's funny. I remember a talk I had with Elliot one time was he said his dad told me, he says, in running, it's always the same 500 runners. I can tell you guys that is true. But anyways, yeah, this is the only photo where I'm also in it with Muhammad, but he also got All-American in the 10K at State Appears with Elliot, and then Ricky. This was in track and field of 2023, so they managed to make podium at State, just like NorCal. And then he got all NorCal honors in cross country along with Bamon and Moises. And look, there's Antoine there again. Then Daniel Trempa here, he's actually my teammate Sharvin's old high school teammate. So like I said, it's the same 500 people. Like just all these people are connected. It's crazy. But yeah, so that was Muhammad. I saw him. Oh gosh, I gotta fix that. I saw him, like I said, at I think I saw him at one of the meet, but I didn't get a photo of him. But yeah, so that's Muhammad. Angel here, another guy I got to meet at dance at the same time as I met Elliot, Kai, and Antoine. So I mainly talked to him actually at our at my final Hartnell race. He got all NorCal honors at the 2023 NorCal championship race in the 1500 meters. I got 6th place while he got 8th. And I remember I was like, oh, good stuff. And he's like, hey, man, good stuff to you, too. I admire you, man. I was like, hey, shout out for that. He was a good runner, a good guy. Currently racing unattached, but with his times, he'll be able to go somewhere easy. I can see that happening. But he, you know, he got all NorCal as a freshman, where I was nowhere near that in my freshman season. Then he went on to be double what you call it? Yeah. Wait, hang on a second. Where he went on to be a double NorCal 1500 meter medalist. So, Angel, props to you. You managed to hit that double all NorCal in the 1500 meters where I can. And then you were actually double all conference too in track and field too. So, good stuff there. And then if you look, I actually have a racing photo of this guy. You can tell I'm just, striking hard in that. But, yeah. So, from Little NorCal to the big stage. And yeah, so Angel, just keep going on attached until you get the right school for you. So just keep it going. But always, thanks for all the support. And one thing I appreciate actually. So Angel told me about. He's like, dude, the hard thing about running unattached is you don't really have that team go. You just have to do it on your own. I remember at West Coast, I was like, hey man, you can work with me. Don't worry. And I just kind of said, hey, UC Merced, he's here. Just go with it. I even helped Jesus train that day at West Coast Relays or warm up for the 5K. I remember. I remember my Merced team is a group of really awesome people that they just really accepted me for me. So Merced, big shout out for that, for letting me bring my crazy little world to you. But so yeah, that's Angel. Angel, listen, I like you, man. I am not gonna try and pronounce that name though, because I am not going to pronounce that right, and I will probably butcher it hard, so we're not going to bother that one. But yeah, so Angel, NorCal buddy, just like Antoine. So here, so that's Angel. Next we got Tad, who is actually I don't know if he is going to, but for a time was considering running at UC Merced. But I got to meet Tad back in my final season at Hartnell. And he and I, like I said, we kind of went back and forth. Like 2022, he was 1550 versus my 1555. He was 403 versus 405, and his 2 flat versus 201. He's a good runner. Unfortunately, it's funny. I showed how we had this little rivalry, and yet he and I don't have a single photo of either of us going toe to toe. So what happened there? I guess. But I remember I had him on Strava, and he just had me back, and I remember when I saw him at Berkeley, he went, hey, Josh, what's up? I haven't seen you for a sec. I was like, oh, hey, bro, what's up? And we just talked like old times. He was always nice to me, though, and I remember I really got to talk to him at 2023 Coast Conference, and I actually, like I said, I don't have a photo with him. Oh. Okay, that's a problem. Give me a second. Okay, looks like we'll have to go the long way. Huh, I'm gonna have to fix some of these links, I guess. But, Tad, that's him back at CCC, or the other CCC with, Chabot Community College. So he was there, and he actually placed in the 1500 meters with Moises, Benoit, Ricky, as you guys know, and then Elliot from, Danza. So it's just the same runners over and over. I didn't really know a lot of people. I just conveniently knew a whole group that kept reappearing. But yeah, so that was Tad. last thing about him, so he did unattached like Jake and Angel after community college, but he ran far greater times than I did. But when he is currently at UC Berkeley, where he's finishing up his undergrad and then gonna go on to the next step. So, but yeah, Tad, good stuff, and it's funny. I'm reading this hilariously similar to Zambrano. I Okay, I don't know why I typed Nico. That's really embarrassing. I must have been tired when making these slides. Jeez, I need to. Anyway, Tad, my bad on that. But this is true. I did talk to Tad more after JUCO than during JUCO. But hey, like I said, sometimes in life you become closer to someone just because of that mutual knowledge of each other and just because of shared previous experiences. So anyways, so that's Tad. So here, we're going to go the long way and go back. And then lastly, we have one more athlete. That's Isabel. I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce your last name. I'm probably going to butcher it. But I got to meet Isabel because I actually recognized her from high school. And it turned out the reason I did was because I saw her run at a Hollister meet that I ran my senior year. But she ran a Hollister like Joanna and Mariah, so we knew mutual people, and then we just kept bumping into each other, and then we ended up talking more. And nice person. She was also good friends with Kai and Josh. They were actually probably closer than I was. But yeah, she went from Hollister to MP. See, I said Jake was the only person that would have ran against me in high school. I was wrong. She also would have too, just not in the same race because different genders. But she went from Hollister to MPC to then San Jose State, where she's got another year. So, Isabella, good luck. And here's the JUCO throwback. Jose and I got me there, so that's at 2022 NorCal. And like I said, Kai was probably better friends with her, and I was talking to them after Mission 10 in 2023, and she said he was going to vote. And she was all conference in 2022. So, yeah, there's Ashley and there's Sophie, and there's actually Maria, who I showed in a different video. But yeah, and also the other Hartnell Panther that placed that day was Ileana. But yeah, that's JUCO New Horizons. So, thanks to my Kingsley and Hartnell days, I made so many great connections that somehow through God and just kept meeting up people, and me being just the guy that just never showed up, I ended up getting to forge these new friendships, these new memories, and make some new stuff. So honestly, like my Hartnell peers, to everyone that I got to talk to with after JUCO, I want to say thank you. You know, you guys were very supportive of me, very welcoming of me into your lives and other circles. So I just want to say thank you. And I can't wait to see what you all do with running and academics. So good luck with it. And otherwise, you guys are the faces of JUCO, just like the other face of Hartnell, and in my eyes. So thanks, guys, for everything. And otherwise, I hope you all enjoyed the retrospective moving forward. So otherwise, it's all about Merced in a few.